Who kept cramming quarters in the dryer? What kind of person would shove 13 quarters in a laundromat dryer? Because they thought that might help. I mean, what kind of mentality just keeps throwing money into something thinking that's how to fix a problem?
It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need the money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the ba-blang, ba-blang. Want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Get ready.
And it's time for another unbuckled bumpy ride with your guide, the stark raving lunatic himself. I'm Jim. Let's jump right in again. Welcome to my podcast based on my brand new book, available on Amazon, Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N. It's a year-long guide to gratitude and our daily grind. The book that combines some timeless wisdom from a whole lot of the world's wiser people with the reflections, reactions, and wisecracks of the guide's author, me. And it guides you, the reader, through the simplest system for a happy, healthy, authentic, and genuinely grateful everyday experience. I urge you to get the book. Of course I do. I wrote it. It's either at Amazon or at my website, ampurage.com. A-M-M-P-U-R-A-G-E. But even without it, let's make next week better than last, our next year better than the past, and get started now with today's episode of... So, had to wash our king-size comforter the other day. Took it to a laundromat. Thought I'd save our washer the wear and tear and simultaneously kill a second bird with the same stone. Get a little podcasting done. It was a nice day. So, yeah, walk around outdoors, take in the fresh air, let out some fresh thoughts. But didn't go that way. Nope. After my laundry was now laundered, wet, and ready for some warmth, time to throw it in the dryer, the first dryer that I went to wasn't being very helpful. One quick inspection as to why, and my answer was clear as day. Clear as the blue sky day outside that I was now missing. The problem was too much money. Yeah, not always the first thought you have thinking of laundromats. But yeah, somebody had way too much money to throw around. And they threw it, fed it, forced it into the machine that I wanted to use. So much so that they jammed a quarter in there. I could neither get it back out or push it further in so I could put my own money in. The machine was apparently choking on a quarter. So what did I do? Two things. I chose the machine next to it to dry my comforter, and then I went and got the attendant to notify them of the problem. The attendant, no, she was a monetary management mastermind who knew just what to do. All it took was a little patience and a butter knife. She worked it, got it out, then tried feeding the quarter back in to see if the machine worked. But nothing. The quarter stuck out again. It was stuck. Now she was serious. She rose to the challenge. She got that quarter back out. She went digging with that butter knife for the source of the problem. I watched her then get out another dozen quarters out of that jammed coin slot. Yep, 13 quarters. Enough for like 6 comforters in one poor little overloaded Maytag dryer. She was not surprised by the fact that there were extra quarters. Obviously, she'd experienced this before. Glad I called in an expert. But she was surprised by so many. I mean, imagine putting one in, pushing buttons, no response. Then putting in another, same outcome. And then another. 13 unlucky comforter down feather plucking times. We looked at each other, and I said it. What was that person thinking? Just keep throwing money in there, expecting things to change. And then she said it. She said, they weren't thinking. If they were, they'd have asked us to help. And then she walked away with 12 of the quarters. I'll explain what happened to the 13th quarter later. I mean, that attendant pulled 13 quarters out of the dryer's jammed quarter slot. Would have been like 3 hours of dry time, and they obviously just kept putting them in one after the other without getting their desired outcome, thinking that More quarters, that'd fix the problem. Yep. How many times do we just throw more money at something to try and fix a problem, when all we really needed to do was ask for some help? Great quote by Anne Lamott. She said, "If you have a problem that you can solve by throwing money at it, you don't have a very interesting problem." See, the problems we have in this world that more money can solve should be one and done problems, not the perpetual problems of humanity. We as humans, we have some problems that money can't buy our ways out of. A guy named W.C. Fields once said, "A rich man is nothing more but a poor man with money." See, we think that our questions get answered by answering their call with money first, money over mindset, with craploads of cash, but never caring about the crash that comes after that fact. Well, those questions, maybe we're either answering the wrong ones or not asking the right ones. Like asking not how to fix this for now, but how to shift things and change and prevent the recurrence for, well, at least for beyond just now at least. That requires throwing more energy and ideas at something, more than just dollars and no cents. Wealth flows from energy and ideas. I mean, we can't keep it up forever and expect a far-reaching resolution. Come on, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon, we're talking about real money. And all I ask of us is the chance to prove that money can't make the world as happy a place as forethought can. Say that again. All I ask is the chance to prove that money can't make the world as happy a place as forethought can. As planning for the future, not just borrowing from it now and trying to pay our way out of today's problems. Another great quote, "Every time that you borrow money, you're robbing your future self." Nathan Morris. I wish I'd said it first. I don't even know who did, but the only problems that money can solve are money problems. And we do not have a money problem in America, because if we did, we'd just print more. No, we have a values and a priorities problem. You never suffer from a money problem. You always suffer from an idea problem, suffer from a priorities problem, suffer from a values problem. And using money as a solution for problems of values deifies money and those who control most of it. And that just brings us more problems about values. Money is only a vehicle and a tool, and it will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. That was Ayn Rand. But maybe he's more modernly relatable for many folks. The one from Jim Carrey. He said, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything that they ever dreamed of so that they can see that it's not the answer." Yeah, man, we've got debt as a country, as states, as individuals, as families, and there's economic inequality, and it's okay to talk about equity, but to rob from the rich to give to the poor, Robin Hood style, is thinking that it all comes down to not having enough money. But the Fed just printed more, and if it were that simple, the Fed would have done that a long, long time ago. This problem is not something we can just throw money at and expect to not still wind up having to air our dirty laundry out for all to see, or in this case, our clean and wet laundry, as I'm sure the person cramming quarters into the mechanical money mouth of that Maytag wasn't trying to bake in the smell and dirt that was left on their clothes. But just throwing more money at it was already half-baked enough of a scheme to not solve their problem. Problem is, they caused a problem for others as well. They shut down a perfectly good, well-functioning machine by thinking that because they didn't understand the problem, and instead of asking an expert for help, they thought just throwing more money at the problem, that dryer that didn't work, that would solve it. The dryer worked fine. The machine worked fine. The system set up in their cosmic cleans everything reality laundrette was working fine until someone who did not understand how things worked, when there may have been a hiccup or a virus, when that someone just thought throwing money at it would make things go and get things clean. And all they wound up with was a now newly fractured system causing problems for others down the road. And the people who had shoved the silver in the slot, well, they were now gone. They just left it for someone else to deal with. And that someone was me and the expert who knew just what to do. to take that log jam quarters out slowly, deliberately, and put them somewhere safe that they could be used by others when it was really necessary in the future. By the way, that dryer worked perfectly. The attendant put 1 quarter in and ran it. One was all that was necessary in the hands of someone who knew what to do with it. She started the dryer, the timer began, and it used up every last minute and second that quarter was worth, the way it was designed. I was there. I watched the timer count down all the way down, and now I'm watching as our timer and our money, our quarters, are beginning to run down. What do you see? Do you see a timer and a machine that still works if we use our quarters the way intended? Or do you see an opportunity to just throw more money into something, and if it doesn't work the way you think it should, just leave the problem behind for somebody else? And now, more words of wisdom to wire your socks off from the Live Life Lean Guide itself. Episode and entry from page number 54. What the expert said? Be king in your dreams. Make your vow that you will reach the position with untarnished reputation and make no other vow to distract your attention. That was Andrew Carnegie. And the guide's point of view on this? I know a guy who said, wealth in the United States of America is easy. Work all day, 7 per week, and you may lose your first wife and kids, but think how much money you'll have for your second family. What do you think of this? Man, I hope I know what you think of this. Using the Live Life Lean guided system, what have you learned recently that's new? What have you earned that wasn't just given to you? Where have you added to the world that wasn't just about you? Now, be grateful for all of that, reflect on it, respect it. But before you navigate somewhere next, please like, subscribe, and share to show you care. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying your copy of the Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N guide. Enjoying it almost as much as I did creating it. And if you don't have a copy yet, go on over to Amperage.com or Amazon and get started today experiencing the amazing power of knowing every day is literally yours to be grateful about. And you need never feel unfulfilled again. I'm Jim Hall. And until next time, good health, God bless. And now, go get a little dirty learning something new. Earning what's not given to you. Adding to this crazy world that we share. And navigating your way to something new and next.